All right, today we're cracking open a very different kind of case file. See, we're not hunting for a suspect in the usual sense. We're on the trail of something way more elusive, a logical truth. So let's dive in. I mean, have you ever really thought about it? A mystery where logic, the very tool we use to solve things, just breaks. What happens when that logical trail leads you right back to where you started or just vanishes into thin air? Well, that's exactly where our investigation kicks off. So what we're doing here is opening up the cold cases of the mind. And look, these aren't your average brain teasers. These are puzzles, true paradoxes that have stumped some of the absolute sharpest minds in history. For this investigation, we've got 3 case files loaned up. And the word on the street is only a tiny, tiny percentage of people can actually crack them. So get ready, put on that detective hat, because we're about to open the first file. Okay, so our first case file, at first glance, it seems almost too simple. But you know how it is with any good mystery, right? There's always a secret hidden in plain sight. This is the perfect warm-up for our minds. All right, here are the facts of the case. Pretty simple. The year is 1744. Our subject is a boy named Metin, and his age is 12. Seems open and shut, doesn't it? Well, here's where the plot takes a very strange turn. Okay, so fast forward 5 years. The year is now 1749. Now, logic tells us melanin should be 17, right? 12 plus 5. But the evidence says he's only 7 years old. He's literally aged backwards. How on earth is that possible? Just think about it for a second. What could possibly explain this? And here is the clue that cracks this whole case wide open. You see, we were all thinking with a flawed assumption from the get-go. The riddle wasn't counting the years since he was born, it was counting the years until he was born. Metin wasn't actually born until 1756, so back in 1744, he was 12 years old in the sense that he had 12 years to go until he was born. 5 years later, in 1749, he had just 7 years left. And just like that, case closed. The solution was a classic detective move. You have to question your most basic assumptions. We all just assumed age meant time after birth. The puzzle flipped that on its head. A brilliant bit of misdirection, you have to admit. All right, case file number 2. This one isn't just a clever misdirection. This is a true mind-bender. We're talking about a puzzle that leads to a perfect, inescapable logical loop. Seriously, this is the kind of stuff that keeps philosophers and logicians awake at night. So here's the setup, the central clue. There's a village, and in this village, there's one barber. Just one. Now, this barber lives by a very specific rule. He shaves only the men in the village who do not shave themselves. Got it? Seems simple enough, doesn't it? But here comes the question that turns this simple rule into a complete logical crime scene. The question is, who shaves the barber? I mean, he's a man in the village. He has to get shaved. So let's follow the logic. Okay, get ready, because this is the heart of the paradox. Let's walk through it. First scenario, what if the barber shaves himself? Well, if he does that, he violates his own rule. His rule says he only shaves men who don't shave themselves. So he can't shave himself. Simple. But wait, if he doesn't shave himself, then he fits the description perfectly. He's a man in the village who doesn't shave himself, which means according to his own rule, the barber has to shave him. It's an impossible, unbreakable loop. So what's the answer? There isn't one. This is a true, genuine paradox. The flaw isn't in our logic. The flaw is baked into the very premise of the puzzle. That rule, as simple as it sounds, creates a situation that just can't exist. It's a logical impossibility. So this case, it's unsolvable, because it was broken from the very beginning. Okay, on to our final case file. Now this one is probably the most famous of the 3. And it's a battle, a real showdown between your gut instinct and the cold, hard logic of probability. And I'll tell you right now, most people get it completely wrong. So, picture this. You're on a game show. The lights are blazing, the audience is cheering. You're standing in front of 3 identical doors. Behind one of them is a brand new car. Behind the other 2, goats. You get to pick one door. That's it. All right, you make your choice. Let's say you point to door number 1. But wait, before anything else happens, the host, and this is the absolute key piece of evidence, the host, who knows exactly what's behind each door, walks over and opens one of the doors you didn't pick. He opens door number 3, and it's a goat. So now there are 2 doors left. Your pick, door number 1, and the one you didn't pick. Door number 2. The host looks at you and asks the million-dollar question. Do you want to stick with door number 1, or do you want to switch to door number 2? What do you do? Is it better to switch or stay put? Does it even make a difference? Right now, your gut is probably screaming at you. It doesn't matter. There are 2 doors left. It's a 50-50 shot either way. It feels so obvious. But when it comes to probability, our intuition can be a really, really unreliable witness. So here's the logical breakdown, the solution to the case. When you made your very first pick, you had a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right. Pretty simple. That also means there was a 2 in 3 chance that the car was behind one of the other 2 doors. Now, here's the trick. The host didn't open a random door. He used his inside knowledge to open a door that he knew had a goat. He's essentially given you a massive clue. He took that big 2/3 probability that was spread across 2 doors, and he concentrated all of it onto that one single door you didn't pick. So your original door still has a 1 in 3 chance, but the other door now carries that 2 in 3 chance. You absolutely should switch every single time. And with that, our investigation wraps up. We've looked at 3 totally different cases, each with its own incredible twist. So let's pull back for a moment. What's the final verdict? What did we learn about logic itself from all this? Well, case file number 1, the man who aged backwards, showed us how easily our own assumptions can blind us to the truth. Case file number 2, the barber, proved that some ideas, some sentences, even if they sound perfectly fine, are built on a logical impossibility. And finally, the game show. That one showed us in no uncertain terms that our gut feelings are often just plain wrong when it comes to probability. You know, this really gets to the heart of what we've been looking at. These puzzles, they're not just clever party tricks. A paradox isn't a dead end. It's more like a signpost. It's pointing to the very limits of how we think, and it's daring us to find a new path forward, a new way of looking at things. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, what other unsolvable problems are out there right now just waiting for someone to ask the right question, to spot that one hidden assumption that everyone else has missed? The truth is, the investigation never really ends.